Welcome one and all to a presentation of Minnesota Golden Gophers women's hockey as we see the Minnesota Golden Gophers, third ranked in the nation, go up at home against the Ohio State Buckeyes here at the wonderful Ritter Arena. It's 1 degree outside, but it's a heated rivalry here in Ritter Arena. Should be a fun one. The defending champs coming over here trying to claim their one spot, keep their one spot in a very, very tightly contested postseason push.
Absolutely right, Matthew. Earlier this year, back in October, the teams faced off against each other in Columbus, Ohio, and the Golden Gophers took 4 of the 6 possible points. The first game, the Golden Gophers won outright, a 4-2 victory. The second game, more tightly contested, much like what we're probably going to see tonight. 4-4 game goes into overtime. No one can win it in the extra frame, and eventually the Buckeyes emerge victorious in the shootout. But these are two teams that could make a serious run at the national championship, and we're thrilled to bring you Golden Gopher women's hockey on Radio K Sports today.
Yeah, and part of the reason Ohio State has been so successful these last couple of years is the addition of Nadine Muzeral, their head coach, entering her 7th season as the head coach. Obviously won it all last year against the Duluth Bulldogs. Very, very fun game. And it should be a fun game here this evening. Tomorrow we got a little earlier game, 2 p.m. puck drop, but this will be a fun one. The visiting Buckeyes, they sit at 24-2-2 overall, 19-2-1 WCHA play, whereas the Gophers are sitting at 22-3-2 overall, and they have 19-1-2 in WCHA play. Well, let's break into the starting lineups, why don't we? We'll start with the visitors. Jason, take it away.
For the Buckeyes, they have an interesting offensive lineup set. Their forwards are actually only 3 strong, plus 2 additional skaters. Their top line, Emma Malte, centers McKenna Webster, who spent the last 2 years at Wisconsin. On the right wing there, Peyton Levis. Centerman for the second line, Gabby Rosenthal, Jen Gardner on her left. On her right, Jenna Buglioni. And the center for line number 3, Sloan Matthews, Kenny Hausworth to her left, Brooke Bink to her right. The additional left winger, Sophie Lundin. The additional right winger, Emerson Jarvis. On defense, 4 pairings for the Buckeyes, Madison Bazals with Sophie Jakes, Lauren Bernard with Hadley Harmetz, Emma Peschel with Riley Brengman, and Tegan Grant with Sydney Morrow.
Awesome stuff. And even more awesome stuff for Minnesota, as we have at center Taylor Heisey on that first line with Abigail Barine as well as Katie Skaya. Second line, we got Ella Huber, Abby Murphy, Zoomwinkle. We also have Kaiser Bovang Hemp, and we have the Wethington, Norcross, and Lindsay line for the defenses.
We'll take a quick break for Lift Every Voice and Sing the national anthem.
Veterans and service members are invited to render a hand salute as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem, performed today by the University of Minnesota Band.
And we're back. Let's give some quick shout-outs to the defense for Minnesota. We got Madeline Wethington on left defense along with Emily Oden. We have Nellie Latinen as well as Gracie Ostertag, my apologies. We have Lizzie Norton and Emily Zumwinkle. And to close things off, we have Crystalline Hangler at left defense. And of course the goaltender, she's been great all year, Skylar Vetter, and I mean absolute stud on the ice. Just excellent play from Vetter all year. She's 19-3-2 this year, 5 shutouts, and she's only got a 1.70 goals allowed average.
Yeah, overall, both of these teams have been putting up firework numbers all season. The Golden Gophers lead the nation in goals per game at a hair under 5, 4.96 to be exact, 30% on the power play. In the meantime, the Ohio State Buckeyes have the best power play in the nation at 34%, and they have some of the best passers in the league, including Emma Malte, who has 130 career assists, Matthew. That is second among current active players.
Yeah, awesome stuff, and it's definitely going to be a team-oriented game. Whoever can have the best team chemistry on the ice is going to end up winning this one.
The top line for the Golden Gophers is Heisey, Boreen, and Skya. Taylor Heisey won the award for top player in women's collegiate hockey last year, the Patty Kazmir Award, and she will lose the draw here, but the Golden Gophers get it after a nice play in the neutral zone. Wethington tries to clear it off the boards, far side, her own defensive end can't. Chance in front for the Buckeyes, and a shot block there by Emily Oden, and Minnesota will chip it back to the blue line. Another shot on, that one high and wide off the near glass, and the Buckeyes ring it around the boards. Minnesota hanging on to a 2-point lead in the WCHA standings, and they look to expand on it here tonight. Long stretch pass won't connect. The Buckeyes touch up before icing, and they'll start back the other way. Here at Ritter Arena, if you're just joining us, Jason Ruttman, Matthew Zeikert, pleased to be bringing you Golden Gopher women's hockey as Minnesota, ranked number 3 in the nation, takes on the top-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Golden Gophers have it down low. They circle it around the boards to the point. Shot, looking for it in the corner. Minnesota has it, and a wraparound attempt won't go. Back to the point. One-timer, that one just wide. Skitters to the near side, and it'll be wrapped around once again. Golden Gophers can't hang on to it. The Buckeyes bring it back. This time motoring through the zone, Jen Gardner. She tries a backhander. That one saved nicely by Vetter. Skylar Vetter has been outstanding for Minnesota all year long. Sophomore from Lakeville, Minnesota. Buckeyes still with it in the offensive end. They poke it back to the blue line where Sophie Jakes picks it up. She tries a long shot, careens off the board, and a nice Golden Gopher stick there from Ostertag prevents a rebound opportunity. Another shot on from the Buckeyes, this one off the glass and into the protective netting. We have our first whistle.
You got to be surprised at how aggressive Ohio State was straight off the bat, and if it was not for that excellent defensive play by fifth-year senior Emily Oden for the Gophers, we might have seen a goal already, and it's only 18 minutes and 11 seconds to go in this first period.
Face-off draw is to the right of Skylar Vetter. To take it for the Golden Gophers, Madison Kaiser. She drops it, and the Buckeyes will set up. Cross-ice pass was tipped by Peyton Hemp, but Hemp can't clear the zone. Buckeyes keep it in, far circle shot. That one hit iron and stayed out. Kaiser with it behind the net for Minnesota. Her pass is picked off. On it now is Buglioni, and the Golden Gophers will steal it back. Here comes Norton. She chips it in down low, and it'll be picked up in the corner. That's Josephine Boveng. Boveng behind the net, trying to circle it, and connects with Kaiser. Kaiser is hounded there by an Ohio State defenseman, loses the puck. Golden Gophers get a turnover, backhander wide left. Nice look there from Boveng. The Golden Gophers still have it down low, and now it's poked away. Here come the Buckeyes. They battle for it at the far wall. Minnesota has been able to hold it in thus far, and now it'll be flipped out. The Buckeyes hustling for a change. The Gophers looking to catch him on it. Here they come. It's Abigail Boreen, one of 4 captains for this Golden Gophers squad. She gives it to the point. A shot stick to side. Ohio State now having trouble clearing their defensive end. Katie Skya with it, far boards. She can't hang on. 2-on-2 the other way for Ohio State. Bringing it in is senior Brooke Bink. Tries a chip and chase. The Golden Gophers on it right away. Skya up to Heisey, and Minnesota will break the blue line out to neutral. Quick turnover. The Buckeyes back the other way. In comes Peschel, and it's offsides against Ohio State.
Yeah, interesting lack of line judgment, I guess you could say, by Ohio State. They're going to have to play a disciplined game against these Gophers if they want to see any sort of victory in the win column.
Speaking of discipline, Matthew, the Golden Gophers, in terms of penalties, have not taken many this year, averaging only 6.4 penalty minutes per game. That is one of the best marks in the nation. Off the draw, the Golden Gophers have it in their defensive end, and offsides called as they chipped back and forth at it on the blue line.
Perhaps this is something that Ohio State has kind of had in their game plan, slow down the game. You don't want to play when Minnesota's at their best, but you also are the best team in the nation, so it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of even things out.
Sophomore Ella Huber to take the draw for the Golden Gophers. Emma Malte, the grad student for the Buckeyes, and Malte comes away with the victory there. The Buckeyes circle the puck in down low. They play it in the far corner. Huber on to assist for Minnesota. She can't get it up the wing, and Ohio State maintains possession. Down low for Malte, has Peyton Levis with her. Back to the top of the far circle, and it's a shot block by Ostertag, and the puck will escape the zone. Buckeyes dump it in quickly. Out of her net to play it is Skylar Vetter. Quick turnover, chance in front. Big save. Ostertag might have just saved a goal, and another save on a rebound chance from the slot.
That's about as close to a glove save you can have as a defenseman.
Minnesota shoots it all the way up ice. This might be icing, and it is. That'll go against Minnesota, so it'll be an offensive zone draw for the Buckeyes, who so nearly just scored on that offensive rush right there.
Yeah, just excellent stuff from the defensemen for Minnesota. They're going to have to play with that poise and that composure. Even though Vetter is one of the best to ever do it and go for history, she still needs help because that Ohio State offense is dangerous.
Kaiser loses the draw. Puck is dumped in deep by the Buckeyes. Rosenthal centers it. Tip in front, and that hit the outside of the cage. Gardner was looking to break the 0-0 tie. Another shot hits the glass after being deflected out front. Ostertag hounds Rosenthal in the corner. A short angle shot, a rebound chance. They poke at it. Vetter is out of her net, and the Gophers able to clear it out of the zone. Great job there by the Minnesota defense.
Yeah, Vetter was practically flipped over, able to get back in the net, though.
Norton on it for Minnesota. Gophers still can't clear out of the defensive zone. Kaiser picks up the puck, taps it around to the far boards, and it's held in. A slap shot is saved by Vetter.
Excellent save there by Vetter. And although that Minnesota defense is doing great, they're going to want to be on the attack. It seems like for a majority of this first quarter of first period play, Ohio State has been the one on the attack. And we are almost we're a little over 5 minutes into this first. Should be some good hockey coming up.
Shots on goal read 5-1 for Ohio State. Face-off draw will be to the left of Vetter, who stands at attention about 6 inches outside of the blue paint. Taylor Heisey squares off against Emma Malte, and Malte comes away with that one. Slap shot right off the draw, wide of the net, and it can't be held in by Peschel. Katie Skaya gives chase, and instead Ohio State picks it up in their defensive end. The Golden Gophers can't contain the zone. Instead, they poke at it in the neutral end. Skaya can't maintain possession. Shot on from the far wing by the Buckeyes, and the Gophers will clear it out of there. Shot was taken by Riley Brengman, the junior from Michigan, and here come the Buckeyes the other way as they are able to spring a man from the neutral zone, but forced to dump it in around the boards was Peyton Levis. Minnesota trying to work it out. Skaya, Barine on the puck for the Golden Gophers, and they can't maintain possession as Ohio State continues to control the neutral game play. They dump it in on Vetter. Vetter, a blind pass, that's intercepted. Gardner on it, centering attempt, and Heisey got a stick in the way there.
Interesting blind pass by Vetter. I'm not sure you'll be seeing much more of those as this game progresses.
Taylor Heisey, tied for a team-high 47 points, sends the puck out to the neutral zone. The Buckeyes intercept there. Jakes has it, sends it in behind the net. Vetter, peering around her post, watches Zumwinkle pick it up. Zumwinkle had the puck taken off of her stick. The Buckeyes wrap it around the boards, near side in the corner, and now Minnesota will move it ahead. Grace Zumwinkle has a man with her. She brings it up at the far wing. Shot on. Save. Rebound opportunity. Scramble for in the crease. There are 6 players down. And finally, the puck is covered up. And then a late hit there, as hitting the deck was Abby Murphy. It doesn't look like a penalty will be called.
Interesting, because that was definitely a late hit, as they will show it again on this scoreboard probably. But there was a lot of action near that visiting net. Crazy to see that puck did not find its way towards the twine. I really thought that was going to be a Gopher goal.
The goalie for the Buckeyes is senior Reagan Kirk from St. Anne, Manitoba. She's a Goalie of the Year watch list nominee, so on both sides of the ice, 2 solid netminders. The Golden Gophers, with only 2 shots on goal, with 13-19 here in the first, have yet to crack her. A chance right off the draw. One-timer was blocked, and Minnesota will get possession back in the neutral zone. Ella Huber passes it up. There's Abby Murphy for Minnesota. She rings it around the boards, and on it for the Buckeyes, Lauren Bernard. Bernard, trying to work it out of her defensive end, is able to connect with McKenna Webster, and she flips it up ahead. Golden Gophers will get possession back as Skylar Vetter's out of her net, backhands it around to Heisey, and Heisey sends it up to Peyton Hemp. Hemp, cross-ice pass, there's Murphy, she tries a shot, that one just wide of the right post. Minnesota with it in the corner, quick turnover, and the Buckeyes will bring it out. Nice defense there by Crystalline Hengler. She gets the puck to Peyton Hemp, backhands around a player to the wing, shot, and a blocker save there. Nice look by Reagan Kirk on the save. Chance in front for Minnesota. That one never connected. Sent up around the boards and out of the zone. This may go for icing against Ohio State. They say no. Norton for Minnesota to Hemp. Hemp to the neutral zone. And here come the Gophers, but offsides is called. Madison Kaiser a little eager to enter the zone, and we have another whistle.
Excellent work there by Reagan Kirk, the goaltender for the Ohio State Buckeyes. But they've really been going with the 1-2 punch of Kirk as well as Amanda Thiele, and almost akin to what the Minnesota Wild are doing right now with Gustafson and Fleury. Very cool stuff to see. Obviously, Minnesota comfortable with better.
Minnesota wins the draw. Norton flips it up and into the zone. Chasing that with speed is Audrey Wethington, and she's able to tie the puck up on the boards. The Buckeyes gain possession, flick it all the way down. This might go for icing, it will not. Excellent hustle there by Sloan Matthews, the Plymouth, Minnesota native. Golden Gophers trying to break the blue line, they do. They move ahead with Sadie Lindsay. She tries a shot right in on the breadbasket. Save, and a whistle sounds.
Interesting action going on there with that whistle. And you mentioned the Minnesota origins for some of these Ohio State Buckeyes players. Actually, there are more Minnesotans on this Ohio State Buckeyes team than there are Ohioans. The only Ohioan active tonight, Lauren Bernard, the senior left defenseman.
Faceoff is to the right of Reagan Kirk. Taylor Heisey to take it for Minnesota. Wins it back to Oden. She fires right into the glove of Kirk.
Good look right off the faceoff. That almost found the post, but Kirk had that mindset that was going to be a shot and was able to make that glove save.
Same faceoff matchup as before. Heisey against Malte. Once again, it is to the right of the Ohio State netminder Kirk. This time the puck comes up right in front in the blue paint, and the Buckeyes are able to stick it away. Oden fell down, and here comes Ohio State. Malte a shot, that one wide to the left of the net. Wethington on it for Minnesota. Up the boards for Barine. She can't corral. Shot blocked by Heisey, and the Buckeyes still keep it in, at least for the moment. Now they drive the slot as Katie Skaya has a nice stick there. Gets it up to Oden. Oden ahead to Heisey. Taps it between her own legs, and the puck finds its way to the far corner. Now up the boards. It's McKenna Webster on the top line for Ohio State. Ahead to Peyton Levis. Peyton Levis sent it to no man's land, where it's picked up by Nellie Leitinen for Minnesota. Leitinen to Ostertag. Ostertag had a pass blocked. Leitinen chips it up off the boards near the team's benches. The Buckeyes battle for it, and it's back in the Minnesota defensive end on the stick of Ostertag. Ostertag tried to pass off the boards to Huber. That didn't connect, and the Golden Gophers are forced to reset. In their own defensive end, good back check there by Jenna Buglioni. Chance in front, no one there to tap it home. A one-timer, that one saved by Vetter. I don't know how she saw that, screened in front. And now this pass is intercepted. The Golden Gophers bring it up. With speed, it's Zumwinkle driving to the crease, a chance, and the puck just over the crossbar. Penalty coming up against the Buckeyes as soon as they touch up, and they do there. It's going to be a tripping call on the far end. It looks like it's going to go against Riley Brengman, and Minnesota will head to the man advantage for the first time this game.
We mentioned that Minnesota's a very disciplined team in term of penalties, but Ohio State first to be sent to the sin bin. Interesting stuff as Ohio State is currently in the lead with shots on goal. Just a slight margin, though. 7 shots on goal compared to 6.
Buckeyes penalty kill has killed off 53 of 63 on the season. Golden Gopher power play scoring on 33% of their opportunities. Minnesota wins the draw. Puck finds its way to the corner in the offensive end. Circled around the boards, looking to chase it down there is Grace Zumwinkle. She's unable to do so. Might be 2-on-1 for Ohio State the other way. Here's Malte. Cross-ice pass. The puck chipped up in the air that somehow squeaked through Vetter but didn't go into the net. On it now for Minnesota, Abby Murphy. She walks into the offensive end, weaves around one man, taken down to the ice, no penalty called. The fans don't like it. The Buckeyes clear the zone.
Tough to call 2 penalties with the game being this close, but Gophers are going to try to reorganize, get a line change in, and try to get a goal while the iron is hot.
Crystalline Hengler up to Ella Huber, and now it's Audrey Wethington on the right wing for the Golden Gophers. Wethington avoids a defenseman, cuts to the middle of the ice, and the puck jumped off of her stick, and Ohio State once again able to clear. 56 seconds left on the Brengman penalty. The Golden Gophers looking to break the tie in this 0-0 game. Here's Wethington. A slap shot was blocked down in front by McKenna Webster. Puck in the far corner. On it is Ella Huber. She waits, brings it to the point. Now Hengler looking. Wethington tried a one-timer and fanned on it off the pass from Hengler. Down behind the net, the Gophers work it back towards the blue line. Here's Wethington. Hengler, she shoots. That one saves in front by Kirk. A chance. It's still loose, and the puck tapped in, but the officials' whistle had sounded. The Golden Gophers thought they had one. The officials had lost sight of the puck, and instead it's going to be a face-off.
Yeah, whistle clearly blown before the puck reached the net. Tough break for the Minnesota Golden Gophers as they only have 18 seconds left in that power play, and with how good Kirk's been playing, that might be the best chance they have all night.
The puck was trapped under Kirk. It looks like it was freed by a Golden Gopher stick. I think that was Peyton Hemp, but hard to see the number from here on the Jumbotron. Either way, the referee blew it dead before the puck had squirted back out, and so the goal is nullified, remains tied 0-0. Minnesota loses the draw, but able to keep it in the zone, at least momentarily. Puck on the stick of Sophie Jakes for Ohio State, and the Golden Gophers holding the line courtesy of Ostertag. Good defense there, and finally worked out of the zone by the Buckeyes. Ostertag chases it down. The Buckeyes are back to even strength, and Skaya with the puck. Down low, Leitinen, Gophers in their defensive end. Up the boards to Heisey, who holds calmly. She taps it around, and the pass a little bit too far for Barine off the stick of Leitinen. This won't go for icing, as Katie Skaya showed some good hustle there. Abigail Barine on the puck for Minnesota as they enter the offensive zone. Barine tries a shot. That one popped loose off the glove of Kirk. And Minnesota looking for another chance. Huber fires. That one never left the ice, and it's easily saved by the glove of Reagan Kirk.
Well, in much the same way that shots on goal has been about even keel, same can be said for faceoffs. Faceoffs, Minnesota does have the advantage now. They won 7, Ohio State's won 5.
Faceoff is to the left of Reagan Kirk to take it for the Golden Gophers. The Golden Gophers will send Abby Murphy, who typically lines up at left wing, to the dot. And Murphy wins the draw. Huber tries a shot. Save once again by Kirk.
Kirk must have her head on a swivel today. It is tough going if you're a goaltender, but as you mentioned, Jason, two of the best to do it right now in all of women's college hockey. And this might be a battle of the goaltenders, might be a low-scoring affair despite the high amounts of goals usually scored for both these teams.
Whistle sounds before the face-off, so the official will reset the skaters, and now the draw is won back by the Buckeyes. Lauren Bernard took it for them. Minnesota regains possession in the neutral zone, but quickly taken back by Rosenthal of the Buckeyes. This one worked ahead. Ella Huber on it for Minnesota, trying to chip it around Jax, and she's unable to do so. Now a chance in front for the Golden Gophers, and a leg save by Kirk. They work it around down low. Ella Huber with a good forecheck there for the Golden Gophers, but she can't hold it in. Rosenthal with it for the Buckeyes, and as they had tired skaters on the ice, they decide to dump it in. Kristalyn Hengler from Minnesota, snap pass across the ice. That never connected with anyone. Buckeyes send it in deep, trying a chip and chase, but Norton was there to help prevent that. Back to the neutral zone. Hengler on it. She gets it to the wing. Murphy up ahead to Kaiser. Kaiser tries a drag. A shot. It's loose, and it just crossed the goal mouth and trickled wide. Golden Gophers nearly broke the tie again here at Ritter Arena. Kristalyn Hengler holds the zone. Sends it down low. Kaiser on it for Minnesota. Now Hemp sending it around the boards. And Minnesota can't get possession back, at least for the moment. Kristalyn Hengler doing everything she could to hold that blue line, and instead it comes to the neutral zone. Kaiser walks in for Minnesota. A cross-ice pass, a shot, they score! Minnesota makes it 1-0 on a cross-ice pass from Josephine Bovang. It's a lead with 5:28 left in the first.
Excellent work by Bovang, making sure that that puck found the net. Excellent work by Minnesota all around. They weren't having a lot fall their way until they finally found the back of the net.
Peyton Hemp will get credit for the goal after the cross-ice pass hit the bottom of her stick, it looks like. It wasn't a complete swing on the shot, but it somehow still trickled in past Kirk, and Minnesota has the first lead of this series.
Looks like Kaiser's going to also get an assist on that one as well.
Skylar Vetter gets the puck, and it's up the boards for Boreen. Boreen ahead to Heisey. Heisey sends it rink wide to Skya. Back to Heisey. She walks in, fires, and a kick save there by Kirk. Under 5 minutes left now in the first. The Golden Gophers trying to hold the zone and can't. That one a little bit too far for the freshman Lightnin, and it'll be a neutral zone draw.
Well, if this Ritter Arena atmosphere wasn't electrifying already, that goal has certainly made this atmosphere electrifying. Excellent showing today, this evening game. Great to see women's hockey being supported at such a great level.
Face-off draw won by the Buckeyes. Their defenseman will try and start it up, but a long pass was intercepted there by Madeline Wethington. She forwards it to Heisey. Heisey up the boards to Boreen. She can't get her stick on that, and the Buckeyes will bring it in down low. Rosenthal trying to chip it off the backside of Vetter, unable to do so. Instead works it back to the slot. A shot and a great save there by Skylar Vetter. The Golden Gophers trying to work it ahead, and crossing the blue line now, Taylor Heisey walks in, faked a one-timer, and instead it'll be rung around the boards. Chrislyn Hengler back out on defense for the Golden Gophers, and a turnover there will allow the Buckeyes to clear. This one goes all the way down, icing against Ohio State.
And in terms of block shots, Ohio State is actually getting up there. It's 4-5. Minnesota is favored in that block shots category with the 5. But excellent work by Minnesota, but also Ohio State making sure pucks don't find the net as well.
Ella Huber to take the draw for Minnesota. She squares off against Gabby Rosenthal. Rosenthal jumped early. They'll do it again, and this time Huber wins it. A shot pretty quickly off the draw. It never got through. And now walking across the center of the ice and firing there is Abby Murphy. That never made it to the net. Another chance from the point, tip, and that one is just wide. The Golden Gophers with a nice offensive push here off the win in their own zone. And now the Buckeyes finally regain possession and bring it out. Sent in down low. Vetter stays in her net, lets her defense do their job, and Minnesota will try and break the blue line. They do. Ella Huber, Chicago native, will send it into the benches out of play. Interesting, Matthew. These two teams not only are some of the most competitive in women's collegiate hockey, but they're also two of the oldest teams. The Golden Gophers have 11 players on their roster tonight that are either in their senior year or are in their 5th year / are in grad school. The Buckeyes, even more than that, have 13. So a lot of veteran talent on these teams as the Buckeyes bring it in. Shot, saved by Vetter.
Yeah, and Vetter as well. She's only a sophomore, but she's almost a veteran presence on this team. You hear in the interviews with other players just how much they respect Vetter's mentality, that winning mentality. Obviously, the Ohio State team has a lot of winners on their team with that championship last year. But as I mentioned before we started broadcasting, no sophomores on the active roster tonight for Ohio State.
Face-off draw to the left of Vetter, won back by the Golden Gophers. They tie it up in the corner. 4 players poking at it, 2 aside, and coming away with it is Gracie Ostertag and Minnesota. Quick turnover, though. The Buckeyes try and work it in down low, and a shot off the outside of the cage will afford the puck back to the Golden Gophers. Ahead right now is Bouvang, and Peyton Hemp there to assist. Hemp couldn't secure the puck. The Buckeyes tried a quick entry, but great back check there by Hemp. Freed it for Minnesota. Heisey into the zone. She tries a shot. Great save there. Blocker side by Kirk. Minnesota keeps it in. Bouvang. Shot by Skya. That one kicked aside into the corner. Golden Gophers up to 15 shots on goal now after a relatively sluggish start. They were down 6-2 at one point. in that category, but now have really turned the offense on. Wethington into the zone for Minnesota. Ahead, a little bit too far for Heisey. The Buckeyes turn it around, work it to the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass. That one chopped out of the air there by Emily Oden. Good hand-eye coordination and sent in deep for Wethington. Wethington towards the net. Vetter assists her there. Skaya couldn't secure the puck, and it's into the slot. They drop it back, and Taylor Heisey picks up the loose change.
Excellent work there by Heisey and the defense, able to make sure that there weren't any shots allowed on goal.
The Buckeyes get it back, send it in on Skylar Vetter. She plays it, and in the near corner, it's Ella Huber. Marve on it, and Huber gets it back. The Golden Gophers have a 2-on-2 the other way. Huber along with Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle on it now for Minnesota. She tries to drive, high shot, and dives right into the post. That knocks the net off of its moorings, but the save was made beforehand by Reagan Kirk.
Knocks the net off its moorings and then some. It's practically over by the face-off circle, the right or left face-off circle, pardon me. Definitely dived into it as they show it again on the replay. But that's just a good hockey move right there. No malice in that, but might be a while till they put that back on.
In the meantime, the officials have decided that the face-off draw will be in the neutral zone. It's to the right on the upper side of the block M that sits at center ice. Gabby Rosenthal, the Blaine, Minnesota native, loses the draw to Ella Huber, and the Golden Gophers will chip it in deep. Minnesota able to hold the zone. Nice job there by Abby Murphy. And finally, the Buckeyes backhanded out of there. This may be icing against them. It is.
We mentioned Grace Zumwinkle, and obviously Zumwinkle, just excellent right winger, but it's more of a family affair than one would think with hockey, as is so often the case. Her sister, Emily Zumwinkle, is one of the right defense players for the Gophers. It's very cool to see hockey being all in the family, I guess you could say.
Taylor Heisey matches up with Gabby Rosenthal. This draw is to the left of Reagan Kirk. 5-on-5 hockey, 51.3 seconds left as Minnesota wins the draw. Kristlyn Hengler on the right side for Minnesota. Sent it down low. The Buckeyes intercepted the soft pass. And now back to the point for Hengler. A shot blocked by her own teammate. That was Heisey out front who was trying to tip it. Puck found its way to the corner. Skaya dropped it back to Heisey. She overskated it. And here come the Buckeyes. Hengler running some interference there. A nice job to get in the way of the Buckeye player without drawing a penalty. And the puck finds its way back to the neutral zone. Number 1 Ohio State against number 3 Minnesota. The top spot in the nation and the WCHA on the line here this weekend in Minneapolis. A shot from the top of the slot by the Buckeyes never got through. As time hits zeros here, that'll wrap up the first period. The Golden Gophers will head to the intermission up 1-0. It was a goal by Peyton Hemp on a cross-ice pass that sent them there.
Yeah, I mean, you're up against the number 1 team in the nation, so to leave the first period with 1 goal, that's a bit serendipitous, if I do say so myself. But that Hemp goal would be impossible without the work of Madison Kaiser, as well as the Swede, Josefine Bovang. Just great teamwork, and that teamwork's going to have to continue into that second and third period should the Gophers want to pull up a pseudo upset against the visiting Ohio State Buckeyes.
And so with that, we'll take a short break here. Stay tuned for second period action when we return on Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. Welcome back. We appreciate you tuning in to Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. If you're just joining us, I'm Jason Ruttman. Sitting to my left is Matthew Zeikert, and we're coming to you live from Ritter Arena in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Golden Gopher women's hockey team is taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. At the end of the first, it's 1-0 Golden Gophers. Matthew, let's break it down.
Yeah, with that penalty in the first for Ohio State, that tripping call, one would think that maybe the Gophers would get a goal there, but no, they had their goal when it was even strength, the 5-on-5. Excellent goal by Hemp. Obviously, she was assisted by Kaiser as well as Bovang. That third line really working together quite well. But in terms of face-offs, Minnesota on top as well. 12 face-offs compared to the 9 won by the Buckeyes. And then shots on goal, it was a little worrisome to start things off. Ohio State really looked fierce coming off that opening face-off. But as the game progressed and as the first period came to a close, the Gophers definitely took the offensive zone and they kept it. They definitely kept it. So hopefully they can do the same going forward. 14 shots on goal for Minnesota, 9 for Ohio State. And interesting to see what Ohio State's plan of attack will be now, because they're playing from behind, and that's something that they probably haven't done a lot this year because they are the first in the nation. It
is pretty rare for them. They've only lost one time in their last 19 games. Woo. In the meantime, they're riding a 10-game win streak. Only better than that, Golden Gophers with their 12-game W streak.
Yeah, and interesting as well in terms of 12, if you're going numbers-wise, there are 12 Minnesota natives that are in the starting lineup today for the Gophers. They're not scratched, that's what I should say. So cool stuff, and hopefully the Gophers can use this home crowd to their advantage as they skate back onto the ice for a second period of play.
The Ohio State Buckeyes are coached by Nadine Muzzerall, and Matthew, we were talking pregame, she has some interesting ties to Minnesota.
Yeah, she actually graduated Minnesota in '01, and she even coached a little bit here at the University of Minnesota, assistant coach. And from what I have heard, when she moved to Ohio State, obviously there was a lot of support for that, but it made the rivalry between Ohio State and Minnesota women's hockey that much greater. And what they compared Ohio State to prior to Muzzerall's tenure, I guess you could say, was more of a Bemidji State, Minnesota State women's team. Now they're definitely competitors coming off that great season they had last year, winning the national championship. And that's something that the Gophers are going to try to do this year as well.
Since Muzzerall joined the Ohio State coaching staff, they have gone 15, 12, and 2 against the Golden Gophers, significantly better than any other coach in the matchup's history. Back underway here in the second, the Buckeyes win the draw, bring it into the Gopher defensive end. A quick turnover will spring the Gophers the other way. Taylor Heisey circles around the neutral zone, and she looks for assistance. Now drops it off to her defenseman, Emily Oden. Oden, cross-ice pass for Katie Skaya, a little too far. Sent back around the boards by the Buckeyes. Heisey will loft it in down low. Now Barine tries a quick turnaround shot from the bottom of the near circle. That one just high of the crossbar. Puck jumps over the stick of Emily Oden, but kept in there by Barine. Barine, Heisey, cross-ice pass, they score! It's Abigail Barine with the assist from Taylor Heisey. Golden Gophers go up 2-0.
Great goal there by Abigail Barine, and that was just an excellent pass, too, by Heisey. Definitely a 1-2 punch. That first line is a sight to behold in a similar way to that men's first line, the Snuggerud-Cooley line. This Barine-Heisey-Skya line, there's no line like it in all of women's college hockey. And they just proved it right there with that excellent goal.
Katie Skya picks up the secondary assist. So for Abigail Barine, it's her 19th goal of the season. For Taylor Heisey, it's a team-high 28 assists.
Barine's only 2 goals behind Zumwinkel for most goals this year.
The Buckeyes win the draw, and the puck will find its way back to their defensive zone. They send it back out to neutral ice, and the Gophers will bring it in. Softly off the far boards, Minnesota will force the puck in behind the net of Kirk, and now it winds up back in the neutral zone. Ella Huber working on the forecheck for Minnesota. She couldn't keep it in the zone. Zumwinkle there to assist, and the Buckeyes are forced to give it back to Minnesota's defense. 18:27 left in the second. Minnesota just got their second score of the game. Taylor Heisey to Abigail Bureen to make it 2-0. The Buckeyes have it in their offensive end down low. Back to the point now for Peschel. She can't get it. Minnesota trying to spring a 2-on-1, but good defense there. It is sent back in by the Buckeyes. As the officials' hands are up, and so we have a whistle and a stoppage of play. It appears to be a penalty against the Golden Gophers, and heading to the box is Abby Murphy, the redshirt sophomore from Evergreen Park, Illinois.
Yeah, Murphy's led the team in penalties this year. 21 penalties to her name this year, adding up to around 45 minutes in the box. And this one, obviously a 2-minute minor that'll push that number up just a tad bit, but pretty disciplined team, and interesting to see that they're on the penalty already.
The Buckeyes lose the draw. The Golden Gophers will send it all the way down quickly. Holding was the official call against Abby Murphy. 1:43 left in her box time as the Buckeyes bring it in. Jakes sent it to the far corner. Ohio State brings it back to the blue line. Now backhanded all the way around the boards there. McKenna Webster back to the point. Now taken in by Jakes in front, and the Golden Gophers were able to clear it away from the slot, but not out of the zone. Buckeyes with it at the far boards. They bring it ahead, and good defense there by Minnesota. They're able to clear the zone. Taylor Heisey, a diving effort to make it happen.
Yeah, and they're going to complete that line change as well. Heisey, right after that hit, went right to the bench.
Under a minute left in the Ohio State power play on the far wing. They bring it into the zone. It's Riley Brengman, slows up. Now to the blue line. Back to Brengman. Brengman holds, looking for some assistance. It's Malte, tried a shot. That was blocked in front. It was Audrey Wethington who got her body on the puck there. Gophers were able to get out of the zone after that. 30 seconds left on the man advantage for Ohio State. They have the puck in the offensive end now. Quick entry. Tied up in the corner. 4 players battle for it. The Golden Gophers try and free it back, and we're still chipping at it. The Buckeyes come away. Back to the point. Malte. She holds. Now gives it off. A chance down low, and that couldn't connect. The intended target was Jenna Buglioni. As there are only 3 seconds left on the power play. Minnesota taps the puck across the blue line one more time. They're back to full strength.
Excellent penalty kill right there by Minnesota, especially when you consider that Ohio State has had over a quarter of their penalties result in goals.
Ohio State sends it in deep, gets a line change off. Ahead for Minnesota is Grace Zumwinkle. She crosses center ice, tied up at the far boards, and the Gophers will send it into the Ohio State zone. Jakes is on it for them, and the puck is into the Golden Gopher bench for a whistle and a stoppage of play.
I mean, we just talked about the penalty kill, but I think it bears repeating how important that was, because if this is a 1-2 game, Gophers are going to play differently than they would if it's a 2-0 game like it is right now. And with this face-off at neutral ice, center ice actually, it'll be interesting to see what transpires.
Huber against Scabby Rosenthal, and the official dropped the puck unfairly, so we'll do it again. 15:27 left in the second. The Golden Gophers have goals from Peyton Hemp and Abigail Bareen. Ohio State is still searching for a way to beat Skylar Vetter in net for the Golden Gophers. Buckeyes win the draw. Minnesota, a defensive zone takeaway. Cross-ice pass. Huber tried to tip, and the puck hit the protective netting out of play.
Yeah, you mentioned that goose egg, I guess you could say, in the Ohio State score column. Would not be the first night that Skylar Vetter has been able to pull off a shutout should this score stay the same throughout this game, which I can almost assure you it won't. Vetter has 5 shutouts on the this season, and that's just part of the reasons why she's one of the best in the nation.
Face-off draw won by the Buckeyes in their defensive end. Bizal on it for Ohio State. Zumwinkle pressures her. Puck somehow wound up in front of the net and now in the glove of Reagan Kirk.
Interesting angle, that glove save. It was not by no means a shot on goal. The way it kind of propelled up into the air, almost like a fly ball in baseball.
I think it came off the boards here. We have a small blind spot where the board meets the ice, so couldn't see exactly how the puck got there as the Golden Gophers lose the draw in their offensive zone. But the boards here play differently than the boards at Mariucci do. They seem significantly less lively. Golden Gophers with the puck in their defensive end. Quick turnover in the neutral zone caused that. Zumwinkle dumps it in. Giving chase is Huber along with Abby Murphy. Murphy comes up with it, tries to wrap around, and is forced to take the puck wide. She's hounded there. And the puck worked back to the point. One-timer tipped just wide. Ella Huber got a stick on it down low. And Minnesota will keep it in. No, they won't. Madeline Wethington just a hair too late getting her stick on puck after it crossed the blue line.
Yeah, great shot there. Did not find neither the pole nor the goal. I guess I'm a poet and didn't even know it, but there is a neutral zone face-off about to occur.
Gabby Rosenthal to take the draw for Ohio State. And now some pushing and shoving behind the official dropping the puck as Bovang and Buglioni got tied up. They're able to separate themselves without any more. And so now we will have the face-off draw. Kaiser wins it for the Golden Gophers, but a quick takeaway by Ohio State will keep the puck in the neutral zone. Now the Minnesota Gophers send it in. Peyton Hemp takes a check and now gets buried against the boards by Rosenthal. Got hit twice in a matter of a second, and the puck is sent in down low. Hemp gets her stick around Rosenthal. Lucky that no penalty was called there. Puck in the near corner. Bovang has it up to the point for Wethington. She skates around a man, fakes a shot. Penalty coming up against the Buckeyes as they touch up, and Ohio State will send a man to the box for the second time this game. The guilty party is unclear at the moment. And no, they're going to say it's a Golden Gopher penalty.
Yeah, I was kind of confused when you said it was Ohio State because there was definitely some extracurricular activity from Kaiser.
And Taylor Heisey going over to get an explanation. Even in the penalty box, they opened the Ohio State door.
Yeah.
And the Golden Gophers had possession of the puck when the official had his hand up, so I think that that's where the confusion came from. But either way, sitting in the box is Madison Kaiser, the freshman from Andover, Minnesota, and Ohio State has a chance to cut Minnesota's lead in half with a 5-on-4 man advantage. Buckeyes win the draw, but the Gophers able to send it off the boards, kept in there by Bizal. Cross-ice pass, just a little bit too far there for Jen Gardner. Minnesota clears it out after that. Bizal on it for Gardner. Quick takeaway in the neutral zone, and the Buckeyes right back on the attack. Now Minnesota the other way. Quick turnover. Taylor Heisey walks in, drags, fires. Glove save there by the netminder Kirk. Ahead to Jakes. Jakes moving through the neutral zone, sends it to the left wing, dumped in deep, and steered into the corner by Skylar Vetter. Now Ohio State brings it into the slot. Good tie up there, and Minnesota clears the zone. They move ahead. Peyton Hemp with the puck, trying to drive in, and she's taken down. Penalty coming up against the Buckeyes. Either way, Audrey Wethington picks it up, so the Golden Gophers will go 5-on-5 for a minute here Remember, they're still on the penalty kill technically, and now the Buckeyes touch up, so we will get 4-on-4 hockey.
Yeah, these penalties, I mean, they're becoming a factor for a reason. These two teams are definitely getting on each other's bad side, but it makes for some pretty entertaining hockey.
Madison Bazal, the Elk River, Minnesota native, will go sit for 2. The Golden Gophers will play 4-on-4 hockey for the next 52 seconds, and then after that, they will have a 5-on-4 man advantage. Face-off coming up to the left of Reagan Kirk. The Golden Gophers unable to win that draw. Huber, good forecheck though, keeps it in the zone. Huber now to the point, across, a shot, and that one sticked aside. Oden for Minnesota can't hang on to it as Peyton Levis took it away. Grace Zumwinkle turns it around for the Gophers, drives in, fires. That one ramps off an Ohio State stick and out of play.
Yeah, so now we got ourselves 4-on-4 hockey, but when it was 5-on-4 hockey for Ohio State, it seemed like it was 5-on-4 hockey for Minnesota, just how aggressive they were playing, trying to put pucks in the net.
Absolutely. The Golden Gophers have an 82% penalty kill mark, but I believe that isn't an accurate representation of how good they've been. With their defensive core, those numbers are certainly skewed by a few bad showings. Either way, we have 4-on-4 for the next 27 seconds. Gopher offensive zone draw is won by the Buckeyes. Taking it up is Hadley Harmitz, and offsides is the call.
Only about 19 seconds to go for the Minnesota penalty, so we will see some 5-on-4 hockey here in a bit. Jason, I'm curious, do you think that is has goal written all over it, I guess you could ask?
Not necessarily, because the Buckeyes were able to kill off the Golden Gophers' first power play attempt, but Minnesota certainly has the momentum here. They seem to have settled into a nice rhythm, and Ohio State is going to have some tired skaters on the ice. The Golden Gophers win the draw, and they can't chip it out of their zone, so the Buckeyes will bring it to the end boards. Skylar Vetter watching as she peers over her shoulder as Ohio State sends it up. A chance in front. One-timer. Big save by Skylar Vetter. Closed down the 5-hole, and Minnesota is back at full strength. Here they come. They spring Kaiser, and she was a hair off sides. Would have been a breakaway.
You got to call it because it obviously was offsides, but that breakaway, as I said, it had goal written all over it. You could see it just by the way that the Gophers were playing and the way that puck came down the ice. But now we have a face-off in not neutral zone, in Ohio State zone.
Face-off won by the Buckeyes. Shot, that was blocked. Another chance and a great save right into the glove of Vetter. She's been excellent this evening. 11 saves on 11 shots faced. Down at the other end of the ice, Reagan King, 15 saves on 17 Golden Gopher shots.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about that play that was blown dead, that could have possibly been a goal as well. A little bit nitpicky if you were to call it a goal, but Vetter definitely the better goalie so far.
Golden Gophers win the draw. They'll set up behind the net of Vetter. Now into the neutral zone, pass a little too far. The Buckeyes stick it back, and Minnesota brings it in. It is a nice move, a shot, and a goal. Abby Murphy, a sensational play, puts Minnesota up 3-0.
Excellent work by Abby Murphy, the redshirt sophomore, able to find Twine. Just great stuff by Murphy.
A tough pass actually set up the Golden Gophers as they got the puck to Abby Murphy on the far right wing. She brought it in. A little toe drag brings the puck back to the toe of her stick and ripped it past the blocker side of Reagan Kirk. The Golden Gophers, a commanding 3-0 lead. It is a Golden Gopher power play goal. 11:16 left in the second. And now we will have a quick timeout.
Yeah, Abby Murphy may be the leader in penalty minutes, but don't let that fool you. She is also able to score goals when they matter, and quite the celly, too, shouting out the student section, pointing to the student section after that goal was scored.
The assist goes to Taylor Heisey. It's her second apple of the game, and that puts Minnesota up 3-0. We'll take a quick commercial break here on Radio K Sports. Please enjoy some music provided by our Radio K DJs.
Just one birthday card sent to me. I miss my own surprise party. It's me, I'm only 21 years old, and now I'm drinking alone. I use my phone until it dies, just like my plants can't keep anything alive. I'm sick of being my own best friend. Will you be there in the end? Who said I was a nice
Back here at Ritter Arena, the Golden Gophers just took a 3-0 lead thanks to an unbelievable shot off the stick of Abby Murphy. The Golden Gophers will bring it up off the opening draw here. Here comes Kaiser. She gets it behind the net. Boveng cycles it back, and it's to the point. Shot by Norton, whiffed on it partially. Peyton Hemp picks it up. Hemp walks to the top of the slot. Tried to feed it in down low. A backdoor pass couldn't connect with Boveng. The Buckeyes clear it out. Right before we went to the commercial break, we talked about how Taylor Heisey picked up her second assist of the game on the goal by Abby Murphy. That makes it 13 games this year in which she has registered 2 points or more. That's a team high.
Woo. Excellent stuff. And like I said, that's just part of the reason why this Gopher hockey team is looking to make a deep playoff push.
The Buckeyes keep Minnesota in their defensive end, but are struggling to get puck possession. A quick shot there. Rebound in front. Saved by Vetter. She came way out of her net with the blocker raised. Ohio State holds it in. Taylor Heisey took a pass off the ankle. She's a little gimpy there. Appears to be all right. Stays on for the remainder of her shift as this one will trickle out of play.
Well, with 3 goals scored by Minnesota, with just a little over halfway done of this second period, Jason, the question's got to be asked. When does Ohio State switch their goalie, if at all, tonight?
Well, we know all season they've been working that goalie tandem system. Amanda Thiele has been just as good as Reagan Kirk, if not better. Her numbers 12-1-1, 1.94 goals allowed on average against. Reagan Kirk, on the other hand, 8-1-1, 1.83 against. Sky into the zone for Minnesota. Drop pass for Heisey, shot on and saved right into the chest of Kirk. But going back to what we were saying, Matthew, I think that if there's a 4th goal scored here, I think that that's when the Buckeyes will make a switch, because you know you have a really capable goalie sitting on your bench right now.
And you might as well. I mean, that would be a great preview for these Buckeyes. They would be able to see who do we put in net tomorrow. Obviously, there's a 2 p.m. puck drop tomorrow, 2-game series. And it's going to be an equation for sure, a goalie equation at that.
Taylor Heisey to take the draw from Minnesota. She loses it to Malte. Emma Malte couldn't get the puck out of the zone. The Golden Gophers cycle it down low. Taylor Heisey pinned against the boards by Peschel. Adding to the tie-up is Skaya, who comes away with it, but her pass was off the leg of Levis and now onto the stick of Malte. Cross-ice pass, a chance for the Buckeyes. Diving to make the block in front was Wethington, and it's kept out. Minnesota still trapped in the corner down low. Giving chase to it now, Gracie Ostertag. Emily Oden on it. She's still stuck behind the net. Ohio State with some excellent forecheck here as Minnesota can't seem to get possession. 8:55 left in the second. Cross-ice pass, a shot, kick save there by Vetter. That puck goes into the near corner as Minnesota will give it back to their defenseman. Pardon me, Taylor Heisey, the centerman, who's standing behind the net of Skylar Vetter, and now they'll work it to the defenseman. Skating up ice is Madeline Wethington, enters the zone and sends the puck around the curvature of the boards. Jen Gardner picks it up for the Buckeyes. She works it across the blue line. Wethington all over the ice there to intercept. Golden Gophers back in their defensive end. Wethington got a tap pass from Nellie Leitinen, and Minnesota still has it down low. Ostertag for the Golden Gophers, passes it off the boards, and now into the neutral zone the puck goes. The Buckeyes having a nice little push here. The Golden Gophers can't seem to hang on to it for more than a second or two. Ostertag behind her own net, hits the deck. The Buckeyes work it to the left wing. Now down low, red line extended, circling it around the boards, and the Gophers pick it up. Minnesota sends it to the neutral zone. Pass was far, and Ohio State gets it back. Madison Bazal now ahead to Jen Gardner. Gardner into the zone, right wing, drops it back to the slot. Gardner on the left side now across, and the shot goes wide. A chance, they score.
That might be, yep, that is a goal. It's off the moorings, though.
The net did come off the moorings, but I believe the puck crossed the goal line before it was dislodged. The goal scorer for the Buckeyes is Gabby Rosenthal, as she was able to follow up on the second chance opportunity. And now it is 3-1 in favor of Minnesota.
Looks like the officials talking a little bit. May they review this one? Not looking like it. Looked like there's going to be a face-off at center ice.
The puck went off the end boards and slowly bounced back. Skylar Vetter was trying to get across the crease, but just was a second too slow, as Gabby Rosenthal, alertly standing there, was able to chip it over the outstretched glove of the Minnesota netminder and into the twine. Now the officials are having a discussion near the Golden Gopher bench, as head coach Brad Frost is looking for an explanation, and the lead official will head over to the penalty box to review this one, Matthew. So that was a good call.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the second we saw it on the scoreboard at 3-1, I was like, well, everyone's staying on the ice, and then I saw the Gophers slowly trickle back to the bench, and I knew something was up. This might not get overturned, but I think it's worth a look nonetheless.
Absolutely. It was close. The timing of when the net was knocked off of its moorings and the puck fully crossing the goal line was within 2 milliseconds.
Yeah.
And so it's certainly worth a look if you're the Golden Gophers. 3-0 certainly feels a lot better than 3-1. As it stands, the call on the ice was a good goal, so we'll get a chance to hear from the lead official when he returns from looking at the replay monitor. In the meantime, two of the team captains, Emma Malte and Grace Zumwinkle, are getting an explanation from one of the linesmen about what he saw. And both teams are using the break in the action for a free timeout.
As they should. I mean, looks like the officials are coming back on the ice. Here's the decision.
And it is a good goal. The puck entered the net right as the goal came off. So, like we said, it was really close, but the call on the ice stands 3-1 in terms of the score. Ohio State gets on the board.
And they would need incontrovertible evidence, and obviously they need more to take away a goal than to keep it on. And the call on the ice was a goal. So 3-1 Gophers.
Sophie Jakes and Madison Bazal each get assists to their name, as shots on goal now read 19-15 Minnesota. Face-off draw won by Ohio State. Minnesota recovers possession in the neutral zone. They send it in deep. Kirk can't control behind her own net. Ahead to Levis. Minnesota brings it in. Chance in front, and a great diving play by Bazal broke up a pass. It would have been an easy one-timer in the slot. 3-on-1 for the Buckeyes the other way. Left wing, cross-ice pass broken up there. Wethington, great defensive stand. And now Huber is tied up with a Buckeye in the corner. Golden Gophers get it to the far wall and just out of the zone. They send it in deep, and this will be icing against Minnesota.
Well, one's got to consider maybe this smaller lead for the Gophers, maybe this lights a fire for Kirk, and Kirk might start playing a more disciplined game. She's already been playing a disciplined game already. She's stopped plenty of pucks, 16 to be precise, allowing 3. But we will have to wait and see.
Rosenthal against Huber in the face-off draw, Gopher defensive end, and it's won back by Huber as the Golden Gophers get it to the neutral zone. Peschel for Ohio State takes control, sends it far out, and here's Gardner with speed. She's turned around there by Bovain, and Ohio State will get it to the left wing. A quick shot, that one easily sticked aside by Vetter, her 15th save of the night, Ohio State still has possession in their zone. Backhand pass taken in on the far wing, walking to the slot, holding and getting tied up there. It was McKenna Webster, and she sends it in down low after recovering possession momentarily. They are tied up behind the net of Skylar Vetter. The Buckeyes come away with it. No shot attempts as the Golden Gophers swarm every player who gets the puck, and finally off of an errant stick and covered by Vetter.
Smart hockey from Ohio State, playing behind the net like that, because as we know, Vetter has eyes like a hawk. She's able to see the movement of the puck no matter where on the ice it is, but obviously behind the net poses a little bit of a difficulty for her, and they have not been able to score on opportunities like that, but they might in the future.
The Buckeyes lose the draw in the Gopher defensive end. They hold the zone there. Nice job by Hadley Hartmetz. And now Minnesota will get the puck down low behind the goal line extended. They can't get it out. Katie Skaya on it, trying to stick handle around an Ohio State defenseman. The Buckeyes still holding that blue line strong on the half wall. Poking at it. The Gophers come away with it. Taylor Heisey, unsurprisingly, is the one who emerges with the puck. Heisey's been one of the best players in the nation over the past few years in her 5th season of collegiate hockey. Norton for the Golden Gophers. Down low behind her net. She's able to flick it out of the zone. That'll spring Katie Skaya, one of the speedier Golden Gophers, and she is cut off there. Back to the point now. Ostertag to Heisey. Centering pass, a chance, big save, rebound. Shot goes wide. Abigail Barine was looking for her second of the game. Gophers get it back. Leitinen turns it over. Ohio State moves it ahead. Emma Malte enters the zone with speed, brings it to the forehand, fires, and a shot block there by Ostertag knocks the puck out of play.
I really thought one of those Barine shots on goal was going to land in the goal. Able to get the puck rebounded and maintain possession of it, so good on her, but play has moved to the other side of the ice.
A near sellout here at Ritter Arena as everyone wants to see the number 3 Golden Gophers take on the number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes. So far the home team has had a better game. They're up 3-1 with 4:08 left in the second. Here they come into the zone. It's Grace Zumwinkle. She slows down, waits for her teammates to catch up, brings it to the slot, tries a slap shot, and a nice save off the mask and into the glove. Reagan Kirk. Kirk checking her mask, making sure everything is still in order. Appears to be okay. And we'll have a face-off at the dot nearest us, Ohio State defensive end on the right side.
Goalie mask technology has improved for sure, but that's still got to ring you up. No doubt.
Huber against the goal scorer for Ohio State, Rosenthal. And Huber wins the draw. Knocked back to Zumwinkle. Held in. Nice stick there by Abby Murphy. Ohio State sends it around the boards to Bazal. Bazal will leave it for Gabby Rosenthal. She's tied up by Ella Huber. Knocked down in the corner by Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle tied up with Rosenthal and freed up, and Buglioni will get it out of the zone for Ohio State. Minnesota quickly back in. Bazal on the loose puck as Minnesota couldn't keep up with it. And now out of the zone once again. Kristlyn Hengler calms it down at center ice. Minnesota near wing enters. Kaiser fires that one off the shaft of the stick and out of play. Off the shaft of the stick of the netminder Kirk, I should say.
Yeah, that was about halfway between that and hitting the post, but puck is brought out of play, and the Gophers are playing some more offensive-minded hockey after that run there by Ohio State.
Kaiser wins the draw for Minnesota, but has it quickly taken away by Emma Peschel. Peschel, the Edina, Minnesota graduate, or native, I should say, graduated from Edina High School, has it, and it's in the far corner. Minnesota is unable to defend the shot as it winds up in the far corner. Huber on it for the Golden Gophers. Minnesota trying to work it free. They're able to do so. Kaiser continuing to push in the neutral zone for the Golden Gophers. It's tied up at the far boards right near the red line and now freed back to Ohio State's defensemen. They continue to whack at it right around that center ice red line, and eventually Minnesota gets it back. Here comes Odin. Stretch pass a little bit too far there for Beauvain. Golden Gophers will keep it in, and now flipped out of there by the Buckeyes. 2 minutes left in the second. Ohio State looking to narrow the Golden Gophers lead to 1. They enter the zone. A shot. Blocker saved by Skylar Vetter. Minnesota 3-on-3 the other way. With speed into the zone is Barine. Gives it up for Heisey. Heisey around the boards for Katie Skaya. Skaya on the backhand. Gets around Levis. Leaves it for Barine. Barine tied up by Levis, who played some great defense there, circling around. Golden Gophers re-enter. Taylor Heisey tried to give and go, and Ohio State gets it back. 1:28 left in the frame. A shot goes off the stick of the Golden Gophers' Nellie Lightnin and out of play. So we have another face-off draw coming up.
Yeah, that offensive rush by Minnesota, an interesting one. One's got to wonder if that Heisey pass would maybe produce a goal. No, we'll never know, though, because that Ohio State defense has started to wake up with 1:23 left to go in the end of the second.
Face-off draw won by Rosenthal. Back to the point. Shot from Bazal was blocked. It winds up back on top of the Golden Gopher block M in the neutral zone. Minnesota trying to spring Ella Huber. She's cut off there. Ohio State around the boards in their defensive zone. Off Bugliani and out. 1 minute left in the second. Ohio State with possession down low, their own end. Tied up there, Ella Huber on Rosenthal. Half wall, near side. It's freed back, and Abby Murphy was just a second too late to pick up the loose puck. Ohio State, far side, neutral zone. Golden Gophers chip it back in, might be a 2-on-1. Here's a chance for Murphy. She fires that one off the leg pad of Kirk. Abby Murphy gets her own rebound, holds, sends it to the far wing. Ostertag on it for Minnesota there. Now she walks the blue line, fires, looking for a tip in front from Kaiser. Couldn't get a stick on it. And Ohio State backhands it out of the zone. Buglioni was able to force it by Wethington. Wethington up the boards. Here's Beauvain. She holds. Cross-ice pass. Peyton Hemp couldn't finish it on the tap pass home. Ohio State now back the other way. Tripping call coming up against Minnesota. Shot on, save, and time expires. So Ohio State will start the third period with a 2-minute power play as the Golden Gophers were a little bit slow getting back after the offensive rush. But either way, they make it 3-1 in the second frame.
Yeah, and despite being the more penalized teams, they were able to score more power play goals. One power play goal to be specific, but obviously scored 2 goals this period. Those goals really came at the right time, and almost a goal there by Ohio State, almost a goal there by Minnesota, frankly. And a little bit of a sloppy play by Minnesota defense, tripping up the Ohio State player, but they'll have to live and learn as they have to eat up a 2-minute penalty going into the third.
We'll take another intermission break here from Ritter Arena. Stay tuned for the final 20 minutes of regulation when we return on Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio.
And welcome back to the presentation of Radio K Sports, presentation of women's hockey from Radio K Sports. And before we get going, let's talk a little about the podcast that I am happy to be the host of. I'm Matthew Zeigert, joined alongside by Jason Ruttman, and I host the Sports Hour, and it's a great show. We talk a lot about Gopher athletics, a lot about Gopher women's hockey, to be specific as well. But we've talked a lot about hockey in general this year because of just the strength of the collegiate programs and the professional programs. And if you want to check us out, we can catch us 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Radio K every Tuesday, hopefully, and wherever you get your podcasts. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, that sort of jazz, and you can subscribe. We actually encourage you to subscribe. And let's take a look around the WCHA while we have the chance. The Gophers are not the only ones playing right now. Wisconsin is just done with their first period of play against St. Cloud State. And the Badgers are down by a goal. And there are two games already that concluded. Both between Minnesota rivals. So St. Thomas beat Bemidji State 3-0 in women's hockey. And we had Minnesota Duluth, the 7th ranked in the nation, win 4-3 against Minnesota State. That was an overtime victory as well. So pretty too close for comfort for Minnesota Duluth. They're a much better team than Minnesota State, but that was close regardless of that difference in skill. But let's talk about why we're here in the first place. Minnesota Golden Gophers against the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. And we talked when we got this game started. Minnesota won both the games in Columbus, one being an overtime win, but a shootout win, frankly. And now it's looking like there might be a regulation win if the Gophers can keep the pedal to the metal.
Absolutely. The Golden Gophers are in the toughest part of their schedule all year. 2 weeks ago, they had to play at Bemidji State. Then at Minnesota Duluth last weekend, they're ranked number 6 in the nation, now against number 1 ranked Ohio State. And then next weekend against number 8 ranked Wisconsin. So the Golden Gophers are really in that part of the schedule where they have to grind through some adversity, and they have shown a ton of resilience here tonight. Going up 3-0 on the number 1 ranked team in the nation, that's no joke. To give you a quick scoring summary of the second period, Abigail Barine got a great cross-ice pass down low from Taylor Heisey and tapped it past Reagan Kirk. That made it 2-0 Minnesota. Secondary assist on that goal goes to Katie Skaya. And then with the Golden Gophers on the power play, Taylor Heisey feeds Abby Murphy. She drives in, a little toe drag delay on the shot, brings the puck back and rips it into the twine. That made it 3-0 Minnesota. About 4 minutes later, Gabby Rosenthal gets a puck off the end boards and taps it home. Jennifer Gardner and Sophie Jakes, get the assists. And so that's where we stand, 3-1 Minnesota, as we have puck drop here in the final frame of regulation. The Golden Gophers have a 2-minute penalty kill to start off the period as the whistle sounded right as the clock hit triple zeros. The Ohio State Buckeyes drive the net and they score. That was fast. A goal by Jen Gardner. She just walked around the Golden Gopher defense and tucked it in right past Skylar Vetter. And all of a sudden, Minnesota's lead is chopped down to 1.
Folks, Ohio State is number 1 in the nation for a reason, and they proved it. With that, obviously, probably had a rousing speech from Muzzerall in the locker room, but they now find themselves with only a 1-goal deficit. Excellent work by Ohio State to get right into the attack, not waste any time.
And so that'll bring Madeline Wethington back out of the box. 5-on-5 hockey resumes. The Golden Gophers lead it 3-2. Minnesota offsides just a few seconds after the center ice face-off draw, so we will drop the puck again in neutral ice. Shots on goal read 24-19 in favor of Minnesota.
That Ohio State goal is very much akin to their first shot on goal of the game. Obviously, their first shot on goal of the game did not land, but that one did.
The Buckeyes win the draw in the neutral zone. Katie Skaya got a stick on the puck there, prevented a clean entry into the offensive end, and now Minnesota forces a turnover. Emily Oden up the ice, connects with Skaya, tried to forward it to Taylor Heisey, and the pass just wasn't there. Sent back in by Wethington. On to attack is Madison Bazal. Rings it around the boards. The Gophers hold the zone. A long cross-ice pass couldn't connect. Going down to keep it in is Odin. She's flipped spots with Katie Skaya, and the puck is sent all the way down. No icing. Instead, Vetter gets the stick on it and will freeze it for a face-off.
Yeah, despite giving up that goal, Vetter is not phased at all. She is very much in the zone when she is playing at goalie. But the same can be said for Kirk. Kirk finds herself still in the net, and probably good reason they didn't change her out, because she's playing great so far in the second and third periods.
Ella Huber wins the draw, but the Gophers can't keep possession. The Buckeyes have it in the near corner as Gardner gave it off to Buglioni across to the slot. A shot, that one just high of the far corner of the net and off the glass. The Golden Gophers bring it out into the neutral zone. They have it and will send it in deep. Ella Huber, who's riding an Ohio State defenseman, and the Buckeyes pick the puck up in their own zone. 18-17 left in the third. Puck now on the near wall, centered, and the Gophers get a steal. Norton across, Hengler up to Abby Murphy, and it's a quick turnover. The Golden Gophers are forced to retreat to their defensive end. They poke at it in the far corner. The Buckeyes emerge with it. On the puck there, it appeared to be Brooke Bink. Haven't called her name too many times this evening, and her pass was errant back to the neutral zone. Ohio State a quick entry. Puck off the end boards. Gracie Ostertag secures it for the Golden Gophers. Ahead and cleared out by Peyton Hemp. Ohio State in their defensive end. Off the glass and pushed ahead to Brooke Bink. Bink sends it in deep, heads for a change. Vetter sticks it over to Ostertag. Ostertag ahead to Josephine Bovang. Ohio State 3-on-2 the other way. A shot, glove save, Skylar Vetter. Great look. That was a slot shot from only about 17 feet out, and Vetter, with cat-like reflexes, secured it.
Yeah, a couple of fans giving Vetter the "we're not worthy" bow, and reasonably so. Excellent glove save there, and like I said, head on a swivel, but those eyes have been like a hawk's, and that was able to secure the goal.
Taylor Heisey loses the draw, shot right off, and that hit iron. Gophers caught a break there as Vetter didn't see it. Centering attempt is cleared to the boards by Katie Skaya, kept in by Ohio State. Now on it is Peyton Levis, a chance in front off the leg pad of Vetter. The Gophers still unable to work it past the blue line. Back to the point, a shot tipped in front, and Ohio State will send it in down low around the boards. Levis around to McKenna Webster. Webster to her defensive teammate as the Gophers clear a shot from the slot and get it out to the neutral zone. Now on the stick of Emily Odin. Odin holds off the boards. That one too far for any of her teammates. No icing against the Golden Gophers, however. In come the Buckeyes with speed. A shot, slapper right into the glove of Vetter.
Vetter with yet again another great save, but don't count these Buckeyes out. They have been playing very good. Shots on goal almost even now, 24-22. Still Gophers in the lead in that regard. But Ohio State, they are not out for the count by any stretch of the imagination.
Ella Huber against Gabby Rosenthal at the dot. Rosenthal wins the draw. Shot off the stick of Gardner is blockered away by the netminder for Minnesota. As this one goes all the way down, it'll be icing against the Golden Gophers.
Yeah, if the Gophers want to win this game, they got to control the pace from here on out. Ohio State wants to keep sending those pucks near Vetter, but great stuff by the defense, great stuff by the centers and the right wings and left wings, able to bring that puck down the ice.
Face-off coming up in the dot to the left of Vetter. The Buckeyes win it. A one-timer, that was blocked by Zumwinkle. The Gophers can't get it out. Now Lizzie Norton with the puck. She ran into Zumwinkle, and Minnesota finally able to clear. Gophers send it in around the boards. They head off on a 5-player change. The Buckeyes bring it up. A stretch pass didn't connect there with Bink. Minnesota gets it back. Ostertag sends it in after crossing the center ice red line. There to add some pressure, Peyton Hemp, and Bink will get it back to a defenseman. Now tries to chip it ahead. She was looking for Kenzie Hausworth, and it never got there. Now Boveng. Kaiser fires. That one was blocked by Bink, who got down on one knee. Another shot by Kaiser. That's off the blocker of the netminder. And Minnesota will send it to the far corner. On it for the Buckeyes there. No, it's a turnover for Minnesota. Kaiser couldn't get a stick on it. A diving play by Bink. Ostertag, cross-ice pass, taken in by Hemp. She goes between a player's legs, made Emerson Jarvis look silly there, and Ohio State gets it up ice. Nice defense there by Ostertag to cut off the 2-on-1 opportunity. Ohio State in the offensive end now. A quick shot. That one kicked away by Vetter. Onto the stick of Levis. She shoots, and another save by 31 for Minnesota in goal. Golden Gophers back to the neutral zone. Taken in by Emma Malte. Sent in deep. Now onto the stick of McKenna Webster. Webster couldn't hang on to it. Boveng makes a move around Peyton Levis and gets the puck across center ice. Ohio State right back on it. 13:50 left in the third. Ohio State with all the momentum right now. The Golden Gophers looking to change that back. Crystalline Hengler up the ice. Connects with Boreen, and Boreen just offsides.
Yep, we've seen quite a bit of offsides penalties today, but has not slowed down this Gopher squad. But the story of this third period is just how great Vetter's been playing. It seems like nothing that's been coming her way has been able to get past her, and it's because she's one of the best to do it.
The Gophers win the draw, and it's sent back into their zone. Vetter out of her net to play it. A forehand pass wound up on an Ohio State stick, and a shot from the far wall soaked up by the glove.
Yeah, that glove has definitely found some use here in this third period, in the entire game to be frank, but interesting to see how this Ohio State team is attacking. They've been attacking throughout this game, but it seems like there's a tinge of desperation with just 13:26 to go.
Face off to the left of Vetter, and the draw is won back to Gabby Rosenthal. Chance in front, and a save by Vetter. A little pushing and shoving after the whistle, but we're all good here.
Yeah, Rosenthal practically was laying down in front of Vetter, but nothing was able to result from that. No goals scored, but there will be a face-off.
Rosenthal wins another draw. It's in the slot, a shot. That one blocked by Ostertag. Getting her body in front of it. She's had a couple fantastic blocks for the Golden Gophers tonight. Tie up in the corner. Wethington is battling there with Gardner and Rosenthal, and now we get a whistle as the puck is frozen against the boards.
Yeah, just a matter of time on that one for them to call it dead. Good stuff, though, by Wethington, the Edina, Minnesota native. She did not graduate from Edina High School. She graduated from Blake School. We do have some Edina High School graduates on the team nonetheless.
For the third time in this shift, we will get to see Huber against Gabby Rosenthal. So far, Rosenthal up 2-0 in that battle. And it's 2-1 as the Golden Gophers get the puck back to Lizzie Norton. Norton, Odin, up the boards and out of play, so we will have yet another defensive zone draw.
Game has stopped and started quite a lot here in recent minutes. Lots of whistles blown, but one has to think this might be advantageous for Ohio State. You know, play with that time away from action and try to really cook up some goals.
Buckeyes win the draw. At the point with it, it's Madison Bazal down low now. They battle for it. Coming away with the puck are the Buckeyes. Back to the point for Bazal. She holds, drops it off there. Picked up by Jen Gardner. Reverses course, gets it to Jakes. Jakes fires from the near circle, and it's saved by the netminder, Vetter from Minnesota. Another chance, blocked down in front. Sent in deep, Rosenthal. Checked there by Emily Oden. Ella Huber in to assist, and the puck on the stick of Lizzie Norton up and out of the zone. Golden Gophers 2-on-2 the other way, coming in with speed. Minnesota with Abby Murphy, and she couldn't get a good shot off there as she was cut off by two Ohio State defensemen. Cross-ice pass, just a little bit too hard for Peyton Hemp. Another shot from a bad angle was blocked down. Kaiser took it. Hemp fires. Another great shot block there. That stung Madison Bazal. She's still limping along the ice, trying to get to the bench as the Buckeyes clear it out. Now entering the zone, a shot just high. Emma Malte with a great look, and the puck out of play.
Yeah, Gophers were actually able to bring it out of that Ohio State attack, but shots on goal so far overwhelmingly in this third period are to Ohio State's advantage, 9-1. And Ohio State obviously got that power play goal in this period as well. So Gophers got to fix something, or unless they want to see some overtime hockey, which I'm sure these fans would like to see a regulation win. Overtime win would work, but regulation is the end goal.
Face-off won by the Buckeyes again. Another quick shot saved by Vetter. Remember, if the Golden Gophers win this in regulation, they get an extra 3 points in the standings in the WCHA over Ohio State, who currently only sit 2 behind them. Golden Gophers have 59, the Buckeyes have 57, so a regulation win would be huge because it would keep Ohio State from being able to tie them tomorrow, even if they are able to pull out a road victory. Either way, Gophers get the draw. 3-on-3, Heisey, Bareen, and Skaya, as offsides called against Minnesota. More specifically, Taylor Heisey couldn't stretch.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about how this next couple of games are going to be a tough stretch for Minnesota. Ohio State, they got a little bit of a mixed bag coming up. They got St. Thomas next week, who St. Thomas has shown that they're not the greatest women's hockey team, but they have a very, very strong Wisconsin team at Wisconsin for the last weekend of play.
Gophers win the neutral zone draw. Bareen couldn't secure it, and the Buckeyes will start back with it. Kenzie Hausworth on it. Sends it back to her defenseman, and the Gophers force a turnover in the neutral zone. Katie Skaya on it, and she moves quickly around Emma Peschel of the Buckeyes. They fight for it in the corner, and it ends up on the stick of Wethington, who fires a shot wide. Golden Gophers circle it around the end boards. Taylor Heisey, using her backside to fend off an Ohio State defender, gets it to the point. Zumwinkle sends it around down low. Bareen fields it on the backhand. She's forced to the deck, and the Buckeyes get the puck back. Onto the ice for Minnesota, Lizzie Norton. She runs some interference across the center. Quick shot, that was blocked by Ella Huber, and Minnesota will regain possession. Bareen, long pass. That one hopped over the stick of Huber after a funky bounce on the ice surface. Ohio State will get a chance now. 10-10 left in regulation. Gophers clinging to a 3-2 lead. Pass by the Buckeyes through the neutral zone, a little bit far for Jenna Buglioni, but she chases it down in the offensive zone corner. Now back to the point, top of the near circle, a shot saved by Skylar Vetter. The Gophers poke it away from the crease, and Malte has it down low. Chance in front, one-timer, a great save by Skylar Vetter on a second chance opportunity. And now it's out of play off the stick of Norton, but the Golden Gophers had to clutch up there, and they did so successfully.
Yeah, and Vetter obviously great at net. We've been giving her a lot of praise, but Norton and Huber also able to stop that offensive attack in more ways than one, as we see yet another face-off. And face-offs have been in Ohio State's favor this period.
The Golden Gophers come away with this one. They chip it down ice. Chasing it down, Abby Murphy, and she's taken down from behind. A penalty coming up against Peyton Levis of the Buckeyes. The Golden Gophers have an amazing opportunity right here, Matthew, to double their lead.
It's crucial. It really is. If you get another goal on the board for the Gophers, I mean, that could be done deal.
And the Golden Gophers are going to get a penalty called here as well. The officials say that Abby Murphy embellished on the fall, so it'll be 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. Peyton Levis for interference and Abby Murphy for embellishment. That's not one you see called often, and I don't know if I totally agree with that one, Matthew.
I don't. It's crunch time, and I mean, the fall was legit. I mean, you're going to fall. You're tripped and you fall, and that's just the way it works. And with this being such a close game, you think they would just do the one minor and not award two. I guess it makes it a level playing field, but questionable call regardless of what team you're rooting for.
So we have 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes, 9.5 left in the third. Buckeyes win the draw. They bring it up ice, and turning around in the corner is McKenna Webster. Webster to the point. Now the Buckeyes work it back to Hadley Hartmetz. Hartmetz down low. Wethington applying pressure to Webster against the boards, and Minnesota still struggling to get the puck back. Wethington, Madeline Wethington that is, on it. She skates away from Emma Malte, and it's on the stick of Ella Huber, who slows down the pace of play. Huber, Wethington, long pass is touched by Grace Zumwinkle, and Ohio State had a chance in the neutral zone. The Gophers get it back. Entering the zone's Taylor Heisey. She has some space. Nice defensive play from behind. Gabby Rosenthal lifted her stick. Ohio State 3-on-3 the other way. Good stick there at the far boards by Nellie Leitinen. The Golden Gophers keep it in the neutral zone. Ohio State now with it. Entering Gardner, looking for a tip in front. That one just wide off the stick of Riley Brengman. And Minnesota gets it back. Leitinen, long pass. The Golden Gophers could have a breakaway here. Walking in's Breen. She slows up and is taken down to the ice. No penalty called there. Ohio State gets it back. 30 seconds left in the offsetting minors. 7:55 left in the third. Into the zone is Lauren Bernard. She leaves it for Webster. Webster on the backhand behind the net. Chance from the far circle is sent wide. A good look there for the Buckeyes, and the Golden Gophers can't get it in the neutral zone once again. Webster walks in for Ohio State. Now to the far side. Drops it back to the point. Gophers and Ohio State back at 5-on-5. Jake's on it. Chance in front. Backhand. Big save with the stick by Skylar Vetter. A one-on-one chance shut down by the Minnesota netminder. Ohio State still has it in the zone. A big check as Rosenthal was absolutely leveled there by Gracie Ostertag. Minnesota clears.
And that stick save by Vetter is very much a definition of everything that's been going on tonight.
Ohio State walks in. Malte tries a shot. Kick save by Skylar Vetter. She is on her game right now. Gophers clear it all the way down. It's not going to have enough juice for icing, so Ohio State has to go and retrieve. 6:40 left in the third. Minnesota still has a 3-2 lead, although they're now being outshot 33-25. Circling in the offensive end with it now are the Gophers. Back to the point. Wethington a shot, that one high and wide. Ohio State working it around. It's on the near board, now back at the end wall. Taylor Heisey scoops it up for Minnesota, walks to the far dot, holds, centers, a tip in front, they score! The Golden Gophers take a 4-2 lead. Abby Murphy, her second of the game.
And that right there is a clutch goal by Murphy. And she did the little celly after, deservedly so, hugging Heisey, and we got ourselves a 4-2 ball game. Despite Ohio State's advantage on shots on goal, and this rouser is rousing, no doubt about it.
Taylor Heisey. People remember her for all the goals that she scored as a Golden Gopher. People forget how good she is at passing the puck and setting up plays. There she brings it to the far circle, delays, waits for Abby Murphy to enter a soft spot right in between the two Ohio State defensemen, sends a pass right onto the blade of her stick, and all she has to do is redirect it into the net. Minnesota with a huge goal. That makes it 4-2 with 5:55 left in the third. Minnesota back into the zone. Taylor Heisey again holds another centering pass. That one didn't connect with anyone. Ends up in the corner. Puck over the stick of Katie Skaya as she gets tied up. Taylor Heisey trying to dangle around one man. Now down low, backhander by Bereen is saved by the netminder Kirk. Back out of the zone. Minnesota battles for it in neutral. Katie Skaya brings it in across the blue line. Centering attempt. Stick to the near side by Kirk. They tie up in the corner. Both teams looking to come away with it here. Jumping out onto the ice for Minnesota, Josephine Bovang. Ohio State gets it back, sends it all the way down. Is it going to have enough for icing? It will not. Madeline Wethington skates up on it. Gets it to Bovang. Bovang is smacked down to the ice. No penalty there as the Ohio State defender stick hit her stick before her leg. And now both teams will reset in the neutral zone. Golden Gophers get it back quickly. Zumwinkle taps it ahead. This one goes all the way down on goal, about 150 feet. Kept in the zone. Peyton Hemp holds, has it taken off of her stick in the corner. Odin anchors the blue line, keeps it in, sends it down low. Chasing is Bovang. She's cut off there by Gabby Rosenthal. And now it's in the far corner. The fans here starting to get anxious. The Golden Gophers get it back. Backhand pass from Bovang. That was blocked down. And here come the Buckeyes. It's Peyton Levis. She has assistance with her. It's Hadley Hartmetz. And instead decides to just send it in down low. Lizzie Norton picks it up for the Gophers. Ahead to Peyton Hemp. Hemp, Murphy. Murphy out of the zone. 4 minutes left in the third. Gophers up 4-2 thanks to the second goal of the game by Abby Murphy just 2 minutes ago. Grace Zumwinkle in her defensive end. Pestered by McKenna Webster. Webster pokes at it, and Emily Odin gets the puck off the pass. Off the boards to Norton. Norton ahead to Murphy. That's a little too far for her, but she gets it right back. Huber on it, and offsides is called.
Well, a little bit of this period has been played in 4-on-4 hockey, but you can tell that just when Minnesota has all five on the ice, they just play with a renewed spirit. A great stuff from Minnesota, and I feel like that goal that was just scored was just a game changer, and that might be an understatement. The way that Ohio State's playing now, there's been slim chances for them, but Minnesota controlled their destiny from here on out.
What's wild is that the Gophers are getting outshot 15-3 in this period, and yet they're the team that has a goal on the board. Either way, the puck to the neutral zone as the Buckeyes pick it up. Into their defensive end they go, and now they free it loose. Trying to skate around is Kenzie Hausworth. She's unable to catch up to the puck there. And out of the zone, the puck goes. Ohio State has pulled their goalie, so for the next 3:03, they will have an empty net. 6-on-5 Buckeyes here as they desperately try and clamber back into this game. They have it near the blue line. It escapes Hartmetz. Trying to track it down is Zumwinkle. She gets it, but is cut off by a defender on the near wall. Now they poke for it at the end boards. Ohio State has two players positioned in front of their net. Sent out towards the blue line on its Hengler. Now to the near corner. A shot, that one just high. Abigail Barine behind the net. Ohio State still has a position player stationed right in the blue paint as they try and free it, and the Buckeyes come away with the puck.
Excellent defense there by Ohio State. I mean, any other novice team would have allowed an open goal, but not Ohio State.
Buglioni brings it in. Hengler ties up Peyton Levis down low. Taylor Heisey out to defend. Puck back to the point. Ohio State with it. They give it to Bernard. Bernard sends it in deep. Contact there. Heisey picks it up. Ahead to Skaya. Skaya can't get it around her defender in the neutral zone. Taylor Heisey pushes it across the center ice line, but the Buckeyes still have it. 1:45 left in this one. Gophers up 4-2. Ohio State. 6 skaters on 5. They bring it in. Bernard drives the net. They poke at it. Vetter was down. Minnesota clears. This will go all the way down. It'll be icing against the Gophers, but they needed that break. They had 5 really tired skaters on the ice, Matthew.
Yeah, and they were up against 6 skaters that weren't tired in the slightest. They were definitely trying to make it a 1-goal game. Came up short, though, and they're going to need more than 1 goal to send this thing into OT, Ohio State. They need 2 to be specific, but shots on goal, like, it's just been nuts the way that this game has gone as faceoff is called dead.
Rosenthal encroached upon the red circle that she's supposed to stay out of, so they'll drop it again. 1:28 left in this one. Right off the draw, a quick shot blocked by Skaya, and she has to limp her way to the bench. That was a wicked one-timer as the Golden Gophers send it deep into the Ohio State zone. Their defenders are on it. Now 1:10. Up the boards. Sent deep by Sophie Jakes. The Golden Gophers get it in their defensive end. Off the boards, a little bit too far for Zumwinkle, icing against Minnesota again.
Yeah, and you'd think by now Minnesota would be able to find that empty net and score an empty net goal, but I think that's a testament to how good this Ohio State team is built. Just the fact that they have every aspect of this game covered, and they have not allowed an empty net goal yet, with only a minute to go in this third period.
The Golden Gophers have 2 empty netters on the year, looking to ice this game by making it 3. They win the draw in their defensive zone. Zumwinkle up ahead, has Bovang with her. Bovang drops it back. A shot blocked out in front by the Buckeyes. They still are trying to free it, and now Ohio State gets it back to the neutral zone. 38 seconds left. Here is Malte. Malte centering attempt. That one picked off by Zumwinkle, but not for long as it's dumped in deep. Emily Oden, Lizzie Norton, and now ahead, Zumwinkle has the bouncing puck jump over her stick as she's crushed into the boards. Penalty coming up against the Buckeyes, and Zumwinkle is slow to get up.
Not a good thing to see regardless of who you're cheering for, but yeah, that's going to be a penalty no matter which way you splice it. I would be shocked if they keep... Nope, they will send Kirk back into the game. Kind of a duh right there, but now Gophers playing with a new kind of game plan. Kirk back in the net, but they're going to be able to use, 18.7 seconds of this 2-minute minor should the Buckeyes not pull off a miracle?
That's correct. Sophie Jakes was the guilty party there. It's going to be too little, too late either way. Minnesota will have a 5-on-4 man advantage for the next 18 seconds, and that will wrap it up. Here they have the puck in the neutral zone, cross-ice pass, trying for a look in front. Crystalline Hengler had come up from her defensive position. 5 seconds left, fans on their feet. The Golden Gophers will just hold the puck, and that's it. Minnesota has taken down the #1 team in the nation, a 4-2 victory against the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah, and to defeat the defending champs not once, not twice, but 3 times, that is one heck of a statistic. And they're going to hope that this win is just a stepping stone this season because they have national championship on their mind. But tomorrow they got another great game against Ohio State Buckeyes as they go into the handshake line. And I mean, a great game of hockey overall. Maybe Ohio State had the moral victory of not allowing an empty net goal, but tough to beat Ohio State, the Giants. They have been slain by the Giant Killers, the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
The critical goal in this one was the one that put the Golden Gophers up 4-2. Taylor Heisey holds the puck in the offensive end, brings it to the far circle, centers it right in between the dots for Abby Murphy, and all she has to do is redirect the puck into the top of the cage. No chance for Reagan Kirk. And after that, Minnesota had the Buckeyes on the ropes. It was empty net for Ohio State. Minnesota couldn't capitalize on that, but it didn't matter. A 4-2 win for the Golden Gophers, and we'll do it all again tomorrow. 2 p.m. puck drop coverage right here on Radio K Sports.
Yeah, should be a great one. A little bit different atmosphere. It's more of an afternoon game, not a night game, but should be a great one nonetheless. And I'm sure a lot of these fans in attendance will return tomorrow because, I mean, they saw a great game of hockey. There's no need to not see another one. I mean, this is what makes college hockey so great and what makes women's college hockey so great, as they give the fans a round of applause in the center circle. The fans were a great aspect of this game as well. I mean, what can be said that hasn't been said already in this broadcast about how they showed up for this battle between the 3 and the 1. But things could be shaken up soon. Obviously, Yale being the team in between Minnesota and Ohio State. Have to keep an eye on what Yale does, but this is definitely a momentum changer in terms of standings.
The Golden Gophers improved to 23-3-2 on the season. The Buckeyes dropped to 24-3-2 as well. 3 stars in the game. Abby Murphy for the Golden Gophers. She had 2 goals. Taylor Heisey, the second star, 3 assists, her 13th multi-point game of the year. And then Skylar Vetter for the Golden Gophers. She was fantastic in net, Matthew.
Yeah, Vetter, it seemed like we were talking about her all this game, but deservedly so. She stopped so many pucks that any other goaltender couldn't possibly fathom stopping. But Vetter deservedly gets the 1 star, but should be noted, Heisey has reached the 30 assists on the year mark with those 3 assists today. She came into this game with 27 assists, and now she is in the 3 zeros. So excellent work by Heisey, excellent work by Vetter, but excellent work by this team overall. I'm sure Brad Frost is more than happy with how his team did this evening.
Absolutely. Another note about Taylor Heisey, those 3 assists also bring her to 50 points on the season, so her strong run continues. But going back to what you were saying, Coach Frost has to be absolutely thrilled. Taking down the #1 team at home. The Gophers have yet to lose in regulation to the Buckeyes. Their 1 loss this year came in the shootout, and they look to replicate tomorrow. Puck drop at 2 p.m. Matthew Zeichert, Jack Bartlett will be on the call, and then in the evening, 8 p.m. tip-off, the Golden Gopher men's basketball team will take on the Maryland Terrapins from Williams Arena. Matthew, you're doubling up tomorrow, 2 broadcasts in 1 day.
Yeah, it's going to be a first for me, but I'm going to give it the old college try. I mean, no reason not to.
So with that, we will wrap up our coverage here from Ritter Arena. The Golden Gophers skate out victorious with a 4-2 win over the #1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. They'll have a rubber match tomorrow. For Matthew Zeichert, I'm Jason Ruttman. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful Friday evening, everyone.